Hey guys, American Pizza Books here. So this video is a little different for this channel. I know usually I do like book reviews and book collection videos on this channel, but I guess this could kind of relate. I was gonna just go ahead and do this on my main channel, but I decided to do it on this channel because I feel like it would be better on this channel, just my opinion, anyways. But it is about Star Wars, as you can tell by the title. And this isn't gonna be me like ripping into The Last Jedi or anything because there's already been videos that have done that have done it way, way better than I probably could. And it's no secret that The Last Jedi basically sucked majorly. I mean, it's just Star Wars or Star Wars. Yeah, Star Wars: The Last Jedi was basically just a shit show, shit sandwich, whatever you want to say. Again, people have said it much better than I have. But I mean, just plot holes galore, underwhelming plot developments, severe lack of character development, ham-fisted political agenda in the movie that was just rammed down your throat, just nonsensical things happening, like Leia turning into fucking Mary Poppins and flying through space or whatever. I'm not gonna get into it, but I could spend all day ripping into that movie, believe me. Not to mention that they butchered characters, but again, I'm gonna stay off that. But yeah, so I've been watching a channel called Alex, I believe the name is Alex Becker. Alex Becker's channel. He's done a lot of Star Wars videos and everything, and talked about how basically Star Wars franchise as a whole is pretty much dead now. It's run itself into the ground. So I'll try to link to his channel below so you can go and see that. Watch some of his videos. He does a pretty good job breaking it down. But yeah, so I've pretty much made up my mind at this point that I won't be going to see Episode 9 in theaters. Number one, I just don't see how they can really come back from I don't see how they can come back from Last Jedi. Last Jedi pretty much just fucked everything up completely. So I don't see how they can come back from that. But more importantly, I won't be going to see it in theaters because I don't want to support people who are just going to insult me and insult my intelligence and call me a terrible person just because I didn't like what they created in the Star Wars universe. I'm not going to go and support people like that. You know, after everything that's come out, and again, Alex Becker, his channel, he's covered this a lot, quite extensively. After everything that's come out about Rian Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy, who's the president of Lucasfilms right now, Rian Johnson, Kathleen Kennedy, J.J. Abrams even getting involved and saying that, oh, well, people who don't like Last Jedi are just intimidated by women, they're just a bunch of sexists or whatever. It's bullshit. But, you know, after all that, after all that's been said, and Rian Johnson basically saying the same things and having a huge fucking ego and just saying that anyone who doesn't like the movie just doesn't understand it and everything, he basically just thinks that Last Jedi is a masterpiece. He thinks that none of the criticisms are warranted. Just nothing. Kathleen Kennedy just blames white men or whatever. She's an uber feminist. But yeah, after everything that's come out about them, and the J.J. Abrams part is really disappointing because, believe it or not, I actually enjoyed Force Awakens. I know some people didn't, but I actually liked Force Awakens. You know, looking back on it, yes, it does have some flaws. It definitely has flaws for sure. But at least I can say that I enjoyed that movie. I came away from The Force Awakens being pumped and excited for the rest of the trilogy. It got me excited. So at the very least, I can say that about that one. You know. But obviously, The Last Jedi came along and it just pretty much screwed the pooch. But I mean, I actually enjoyed The Force Awakens. I liked Rogue One, too. But I liked The Force Awakens. I thought J.J. Abrams did a decent job. But after this, after what he said and came out and said, you know, I just want to say fuck J.J. Abrams, too. And fuck all the rest of you. You know, if you want to insult not just me, but all the other fans, all the other diehard Star Wars fans, some that grew up with Star Wars from the very original trilogy, and some that are just major diehard Star Wars fans in general, you want to insult them, insult all of them, just call them a bunch of bigoted, sexist, racist, whatever, or just call them a bunch of stupid people that don't understand the greatness of what The Last Jedi is, just because they don't like it, just because they have some legitimate criticisms about it. So now you're going to insult your entire fan base and just belittle them, lecture them, whatever. You're going to alienate your entire fan base and you you're gonna do all that, and you still want me to show up to see the movie that all of you guys are involved in putting together. You can go fuck yourselves. You can really go fuck yourselves. You're not gonna insult me. You're not gonna sit there and insult me and say that I'm a sexist and whatever else, and still expect me to go over and see the movie, see episode 9. It's probably, like I said, it's probably going to be shit anyways. Because, like I said, how do you come back from The Last Jedi? How do you? They completely ruined everything. Even Mark Hamill doesn't like it. Mark Hamill hated how Luke Skywalker was handled, how the character was handled. They completely butchered the Luke Skywalker character. So yeah, you want to insult me. I know I'm repeating myself, but you want to insult me and insult all the other Star Wars fans for petty reasons, just because they didn't like The Last Jedi or whatever. I'm not gonna go out and boycott or anything, because in the grand scheme of things, it's not that important to me. I wouldn't say I'm a diehard Star Wars fan. I'm a Star Wars fan because, you know, my dad introduced me to the original trilogy. He grew up with Star Wars movies, the original Star Wars movies. He went to the theaters because we have a tradition where we go to see the Star Wars movies together. He probably hated The Last Jedi more than I did at the time. But now I can say I actually do hate The Last Jedi, because now I've actually reflected on it and seen all the breakdowns of it and everything, and seen that, yes, it is indeed a terrible movie. But yeah, no. So I hope episode 9, I hope it bombs in the box office worse than Solo did, which I haven't seen, by the way, and I don't know if I will see. I might see it I might get it on DVD for as cheap as I can, but I hope it bombs worse than Solo did. And I hope that when it comes out, I hope that it comes out to half-empty theaters. You know, preferably less than that, mostly empty theaters, because of all the fans that you've driven away. Yeah, because of all the fans that you called sexist and racist and just against progressiveness or whatever. I hope it humbles you guys a little bit. Hope it humbles you a little bit and makes you learn that sometimes criticism is necessary, and that fans aren't all these little buzzwords that you want to throw at them. They're just sick and tired of being lectured, of being preached to, of having political agendas shoved down their throats. I hope that happens. I hope all that happens. I really do. just because of everything that they've come out and said. By the way, how does that make any sense from a business standpoint? How do you insult your fan base? How do you don't you want to try to cater to them as much as possible? Don't you want to try to do stuff to please your core audience, your core fan base? I mean, it's like if I started a business that you know, if I started a club or something that plays like rock music or something. But then I get a following from that. But then, like, I just say, oh no, well, you know what? I'm just going to start playing country music. Like, I'm still going to play rock music, but we're going to play more country music than rock music. That's basically the equivalent of what happened with The Last Jedi. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Basically, it's just disappointing. It really is. You know, I like Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars fan. I grew up with it, with the prequels, which I don't hate the prequels, but I still understand why people don't like them. They do have many flaws, but I mean, compared to like The Last Jedi, the prequels are masterpieces, honestly. So yeah. And honestly, from a quote from, you know what? That's all I have to say, but I'm just going to end it with a quote from one of the prequels, actually. But yeah. So this is how Liberty dies, with rounds of applause. Take it easy.